Welcome to NightDragon's Rapid Fire interview series, and I have the great pleasure to be joined today by Snehal Antani, the co-founder and CEO of Horizon 3. Welcome.
Thank you, Barbara. Glad to be here.
Well, let's, in typical rapid fire series, dive right on in. And we've got some exciting momentum to talk about. And, before we do, maybe if you could just start by giving us a little more insight as to what does Horizon 3 do for those that may not know?
Sure. It's all about proactive security and cyber resilience. When I was a CIO, I had no idea I was secure until the bad guys showed up. Am I fixing the right vulnerabilities? Am I logging the right data in Splunk? Does my team know how to respond to a breach? The answer is I don't know. I either wait to get hacked, hire a pen test consultant to show up once a year, but really for every patch Tuesday, I wanted a pen test Wednesday. Every time my environment changes, I want to run a pen test. I don't know that my EDR is effective unless I run a pen test against my entire environment to see where the agents are configured or not. So we enable autonomous pen testing of your infrastructure at scale.
And so maybe go a little deeper on that. Why is that so important in today's threat environment? And what maybe next level details of problems of, what you're solving for your customers?
In in cybersecurity, the only perspective that matters is the attacker's perspective. For example, you might think you know your crown jewels data and systems, and you may not care at all about the printer down the hall. But the attacker will, because that printer isn't monitored, it's not likely not patched, it's being accessed by the CFO, and so on and so forth. And so you want to look at your environment through the eyes of the attacker and use that attacker's perspective to fiercely prioritize what to do. Because the hardest part of my job as a CIO was deciding what not to fix. I would get a list of hundreds of thousands of vulnerabilities, most of which weren't even exploitable in my environment. The attacker's perspective helps you understand exploitability. Then you can map that to, well, what threat actors were actually using those tactics that you were exploited by. And then, well, what's the precise business impact? And if you can understand, are you exploitable? It's known to be used by threat actors, and it will lead to a full operational loss of control. You can reprioritize and marshal resources accordingly. So the biggest issue here is prioritization using the attacker's perspective. And then the bottleneck becomes a bias for action, being able to quickly remediate issues and verify that they're good to go.
Great clarity. Thank you so much. And Horizon 3 just announced some really incredible momentum for the first half of the year. Can you tell us a little bit more about some of those key items that are on deck and have recently been announced?
Yeah, it's amazing. So, I mean, our first payroll at the company was January 2020, right before COVID. We launched the product at the end of 2020. So we've had the product in market about 4 or so years now. And in those 4 years, we continue to grow at greater than 100% year over year. I think we're at 137% year over year over the past 12 months. We've got over 4,400 companies globally using Horizon 3, 65% of which are fully serviced by MSSPs. So MSSPs are becoming one of our fastest growing segments because they're basically OEMing or white labeling our AI hacker as a pen testing service. And they're using that to drive assessments of all of the companies that they support. And then with those assessments and with those results, the MSSPs are able to put together proactive security hardening plans. They're able to improve detection and response, act and behave as a virtual CISO. So we have customers ranging from 3 of the Fortune 10 all the way down to the local law firm and everyone in between. And it's pretty amazing to watch the company and sales velocity scale. I think 27% of our revenue each quarter is same quarter close, which means we didn't even know about the deal. And we found it, qualified it, POV'd it, and closed it with a 32-day sales cycle. And that's just crazy velocity. It just goes to show that if you understand the budget you're targeting, the stories that must be told to take those dollars, and an amazing product experience to cultivate radical champions, you're able to build a high velocity, high impact go-to-market machine that services said the largest, most demanding companies in the world and government agencies in the world, all the way down to the local law firms and local shops.
Impressive, incredibly impressive growth. You also recently raised 100 million in funding, of which NightDragon was very proud to participate in. Can you talk a little bit more about how that will help you further the momentum you're seeing?
Yeah, one, we brought on amazing investors. We already had amazing investors in house. So Signal Fire led our seed in A, and they preempted our B. Craft Ventures did our C round, and NEA led our Series D at 100 million, with NightDragon participating among, and then Qualcomm and some other strategics. And what's amazing about the investors, first and foremost, are that each member of the board and board observers are all former operators. They've all been in the arena. They understand the ups and downs of running a company, scaling a company, and they become great advisors to how we operate. Number two, though, is when you're scaling a company and going into hyper growth, you've got to shift go to market from being a bunch of pirates to becoming a navy. A bunch of pirates, they don't want rules, they don't want process, they just want to execute. And when you become a navy, you've built a machine. You've got a repeatable go to market motion. You've built distribution. You can scale that distribution. You can enable reps quickly. And so a large portion, or about 60% of the dollars, are being focused on scaling go to market, getting our presence in every NFL city here in the US, entering new markets across Europe, the Middle East, and APAC. And about 40% of our funding raised will be used to further accelerate R&D. So we have doubled the R&D team, the size of that team every year, roughly. And we've also become really good at pairing our high-end software engineers with AI co-pilots. So kind of pair programming with the two. And to be honest with you, Barbara, my bottleneck right now is press releases. We're shipping new product capabilities so fast in this blended human AI copilot model. I can't launch and enable the products fast enough. And that's an incredible kind of place to be in as a company.
Absolutely. The privilege of that position. Congratulations. So, in wrapping up here, looking ahead, what can we expect to see more of from Horizon 3 in the next year? You touched on obviously go to market expansion and continued investment in product acceleration. But what are some of the new innovations and developments that we should be on the lookout for?
Yeah, I would take the three major investments. The first one is all about doubling down on partners. Partner first, partner always is a key part of how we scale this company. What we're doing around new market entry and continuing to expand in, said Europe, Asia Pac, Middle East, and so on. The final part, though, is especially exciting is on the product. The whole idea of the goal of running a pen test isn't to find problems. It's to quickly fix problems that matter. And I see pen testing and SOAR converging to be an integrated set of workflows around remediation. So a large portion of our engineering activities are now focused on using the pen test results as a map and compass for where to drive and accelerate defensive workflows. How do I not only tell you your EDR is misconfigured, but automatically fix it for you? I got host compromise on a host. Let me auto deploy decoys and deception and build that early warning network. Your SIM is missing logs. Let me just go fix that. Or your MFA or these credentials have bad passwords or bad password policies. Let me fix that for you. Everything over the next 12 months is all about precision defense and creating a bias for action using our pen test results.
Terrific. Well, thank you. I know you're a very, very busy man, and we appreciate the partnership here at NightDragon. Always a great time to speak with you and hear more about what's coming. So look forward to all that lay ahead for Horizon 3. Thanks so much for joining us today, Snehal.
Thank you for the invitation.